Now you got to explain something to me, Brian. Shaquille O'Neal, beloved Shaquille O'Neal, sports hero, iconic figure in American society, right? And the last we saw of him on AEW television, Cody's wife threw a glass of water in his face and was just a heel and a bitch to him, and he was just kind of meandering in a monotone way through the whole thing and sat there and got water thrown in his face. Now the next time we see him, he's reading off a teleprompter. You little punk. Calling Cody Rhodes little punk. You want to fight me, little punk? Or whatever. And for 20 seconds, and that was it. And he had to obviously read that off a teleprompter. You could see his fucking eyeballs following it. And then Cody, who's the babyface, gets in the ring with Arn Anderson and actually comes out and basically tells the people in almost so many words when he says, well, now's where I'm supposed to give you the promo and sell you the thing and the best laid plans. It was supposed to be me and my wife against Shaquille and Jane Cargill. That was what we were going to do, but Brandy got pregnant. So now since we had this fake pre-planned publicity stunt match already figured in, we're going to find another girl for me to team with. Oh, and Arn Anderson's got something to say for once. And then Arn, we've said, why don't you, one of the great promos of all time, let Arn talk, let Arn talk. Arn says nothing every week. He doesn't say suey if the hogs have him. It's the longest promo he's ever had, and you could tell as he started it, he couldn't figure out how this fucking thing made sense. And I've been in that position, especially with some of the stuff that Shitstain booked in TNA that I had to explain as the authority figure. He was trying to make something out of it. He was trying to give it the delivery and the vocabulary of Arn Anderson, but you could see behind his eyes as he got in the middle of it. My God, they've explained this to me, and I've got this promo in my head, and it still don't make sense. And he did the best he could. By the way, God damn it, I was going to look up in my record book, but June 29th, 1985, unless I'm mistaken, Jim Crockett had not opened the LA Forum to wrestling at that point. But he said Dusty and Tully were in the ring, and then Dusty flew home to see Cody born.
What was the date?
June 29, 1985. Look that up. I believe I was at the debut of the first Crockett event in the Los Angeles Forum, and it was in 1986.
Actually, June 29th, 1985, at the Olympic Auditorium.
Olympic Auditorium, okay. All right, so Arn was right. He just misrepresented the building, and I didn't know they'd gone to the Olympic. So there you go. Anyway, so yes, so they said that this was a setup match that they had planned, and it would be happening with Brandy, but she's pregnant, so then Arn brings in a girl that's going to be, that's had problems with Jane Cargill. It's Red Velvet or Pumpkin Spice or whatever the fuck. I don't understand. And then Red Velvet gives a high school play rendition of a wrestling promo. And then when Jim Ross said, ooh, she said bitch ass, so you know she's serious. Because it's almost like they've gone to the shit-stained school of wrestling booking. If you cuss, that means it's a shoot. Or say somebody's real name. Why does this make any sense? Why is this a mixed tag team match? Why is it not Cody versus Shaq? If Shaq didn't want to have a single match, or if they didn't think that he could have a single match, couldn't they have a tag team match with two guys involved somehow in this company so that there would be somebody on Shaq's team to be an accomplished professional and take up any slack, but you'd still get him in the match? Why are we now getting one? I assume both these girls are out of wrestling school. Actually, no. Jane Cargill ain't out of wrestling school yet. But I assume Red Velvet has recently graduated wrestling school. So on something that's supposed to get this many eyeballs, this much attention, they're putting in a girl who, as far as we know, has Jane Cargill wrestled in front of people? And no. Shaq's done one thing once? And a green girl on one side and Cody? Why is this a mixed tag match at all? If the girl got pregnant that threw the drink in his face. It doesn't make any sense. Explain this to me, Brian.
No, this has been horribly booked. As much as I get a kick out of all the Jade Cargill segments, from point A to here has made no sense. And it's also been spread out over, 3 months? Where even before Brandy was pregnant.
They don't even go back and show shit. Oh, remember what happened? No, they don't do that either.
And even before Brandy was pregnant, there was the Jade Cargill interview, and then we had to wait for the Shaq response with Brandy, who all of a sudden was a heel again. It's just this whole thing has been handled really, really poorly. I'm assuming Shaq's doing this as a favor to Jade Cargill. Not a favor to her, but just this is his friend.
Why do we assume that this story is everything else they've said is bullshit? How do we know that Shaq has ever met Jane Cargill before?
I had actually read something that they had because she was a collegiate basketball player.
All right, well then wink, wink. So, wink, wink, then.
No wink, wink. I'm not saying they're fucking like you keep alluding to each week. She's with, someone just sent me, she's with Brandon Phillips, the former second baseman for the Cincinnati Reds, I believe.
Well, I don't know why she's in this thing, then. I have no idea.
Because she needs a career, and she's jacked up. I don't know what kind of hormone she's on, but she has a look. They said, let's train her to be a wrestler. And then they said, hey, let's rush her into the ring. This whole thing has been poorly done. Cody, that promo where he's just, like you said, he's explaining, we were going to do me and Brandy because people just can't get enough of Brandy in the ring. We were going to do me and Brandy against Shaquille O'Neal and Jade Cargill, but I didn't use a condom, so here's Red Velvet. What? And what is this thing Red Velvet does where, I don't even know how to describe it. The only time I've seen this motion being used this way is there used to be a fucking gif of some girl doing a dance and a guy was acting like he was going to eat her ass by doing that, like he's spooning the food back into his mouth. What is she doing?
I don't have any fucking clue what you are rambling about.
What is that motion she does where she's like holding a bowl and she's like spooning the food?
I don't know. Maybe open up the fucking hangar and let the airplane land. I don't know.
But look, I've been negative on Cody at times. I've been positive at times. His stuff tends to be the most serious on the show, even when his promos are really pretentious and he's overly acting. It still usually is better than a lot of the other guys on the show. But the booking of Cody for the last 6 months or so has really, really been bad. It's really been bad. Even the Dark Order thing, it was kind of rushed because it was just so he could film his show. So they had Brody Lee and the Dark Order destroy the Nightmare Family. And then Cody was off TV, and then he returned and quickly won the title back. It's just, I don't know what they're doing with Cody. It's also interesting that there is a clique. There are different cliques. Jericho, who's not an EVP, but Tony Khan has revealed that Jericho's in there, with the creative ideas. He's doing his own thing. Cody's doing his own thing. And then Omega and the Bucks are doing their own thing. It's almost like you have 3 different sections of the show. The Cody section, the Jericho section, and the Elite section. And they never mix. They never meet in the middle.
It's inexplicable to fit any of this together.